Hi friends, in the last videos we covered very clearly what is finally block, what is the speciality of finally block, next what is the return statement with the finally block with respect to system.exit. We covered all these things, right? So now the next thing what I have to discuss, control flow in try catch finally. Sir, control flow in try catch finally. Sir, earlier we covered in one video control flow in try catch but not finally. But now we know finally block purpose also. Sir, now control flow in try catch finally. A beautiful concept, sir. This control flow. Next, one more control flow I will explain. From these things, most of your doubts by default will be clarified. In try catch finally, do you know, right? You will get much clarity, sir. Observe very carefully. Here, observe this code, sir. Try block. Within the try block, statement 1, 2, 3. Total how many statements are there? 3 statements are there. Catch block, statement 4. Catch block, statement 4. Finally, statement 5 and then statement 6. Are you getting statement 5 and then statement 6? That's all. So total how many statements are there? These are the statement. Try catch finally. Sir, this statement 6 is outside of finally block. Take very special care, sir. Sir, now can I start our cases? Sir, please keep this story. I mean this code in your mind. Inside a try block, statement 1, 2, 3 is there. Inside catch block, statement 4 is there. Inside finally block, statement 5 is there, and then statement 6. Now first case, sir. Case 1. If there is no exception, sir, if there is no exception, which statements will be executed? I hope you can guess very easily, sir. So 1, 2, 3, these 3 will be executed. Catch block won't be executed because there is no exception. If an exception, then only catch block will execute, but there is no exception, catch block won't execute. Finally, and then remaining statements, it is the normal termination. That's why 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 normal termination. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 won't be executed. 5 statement 5 will execute, and the statement 6 also will execute under normal termination, because if there is no exception, then obviously it is always a normal termination. Remember that. Sir, now case 2, sir. If an exception raised yet a statement 2 and corresponding catch block matched. Now observe carefully. If an exception raised yet a statement 2, sir, and corresponding catch block matched, means raised exception is arithmetic exception. Now even catch block also, assume that it is the arithmetic exception, catch block is there. Okay, now statement 1 will be executed, and while executing 2 the problem is coming. Immediately the corresponding catch block will execute, sir. So corresponding catch block 1, 4. Next, one more point you people should aware, sir. Within the try block, if anywhere an exception raised, rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. So inside try block, if anywhere an exception raised, rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handled that exception. That's why statement 3 won't be executed, right? So 2, while executing 2 the problem came, immediately catch block executed, and then finally statement 6. Are you getting? Finally statement 6. That's why 1, 4, 5, 6 it is a normal termination. So because exception raised and handled, that's why normal termination, right? So if an exception raised at statement 2 and the corresponding catch block matched, what is the flow, sir? How the statements will be executed? Next, if an exception raised yet a statement 2, an exception raised at statement 2 and corresponding catch block not matched. Are you getting? And corresponding catch block not matched. If an exception raised yet a statement 2 but corresponding catch block not matched. So arithmetic exception raised, but this catch block may be null pointer exception. What will happen, sir? Now observe very carefully. 1 will be executed normally. While executing 2, the problem came. While executing 2, the problem came. But corresponding catch block not matched, sir. JVM will always search for the catch block not matched. It is always abnormal termination. But before abnormal termination, only finally block will be executed. Remember this one. This special offer is applicable only for finally block. That's why even in the case of abnormal termination, before abnormal termination, finally block will be executed. So 1 5 and then abnormal termination. Remember, statement 6 won't execute. Statement 6 won't execute. It is abnormal termination. Clear for all of you, right? 1 5 and then abnormal termination. You people should be aware. Sir, now if an exception raised, sir, that's all. This is if an exception raised at statement 2, catch block matched, not matched, what will happen? We covered, right? Even the same story is applicable for statement 3 also, right? Okay, well. Now my question is, if an exception raised yet a statement 4, observe carefully, sir. If an exception raised yet a statement 4, very simple. So is this statement 4 is the part of try block or outside try block? Outside try block. Have you remembered, right? If any statement which raises an exception which is not inside try block, it is always abnormal termination. Even in the last videos also somewhere I covered very clearly, sir. That's why statement 4, if an exception raised, it is always abnormal termination. But before abnormal termination, finally block will be executed. So it is always abnormal termination, but before that finally block will be executed. So abnormal termination, but before that finally block will be executed. That's all. Okay, finally block will be executed. Okay, well, so it's a very clear. If an exception rises at statement 4, what will happen? It's always abnormal termination because statement 4 is not part of try block. If it is not inside try block, then no corresponding catch block. No corresponding catch block means abnormal termination. But before abnormal termination, finally block will be executed. Okay, well, now if an exception raised yet a statement 5, if an exception raised yet a statement 5, what will happen? That is our next case. If an exception raised yet statement 5, what will happen? Can you please tell? Is it part of try block or outside of try block? Outside of try block. If any statement which raises exception outside of try block, it is always abnormal termination. Remember this one. So if an exception raised, sir, inside, I mean at statement 6, it is always abnormal termination. Remember that carefully. If the exception raised at 4 or 5 or 6, these statements are outside of try block, always abnormal termination. Even 5 and 6 also. So if an exception raised yet a statement 5 or statement 6, it is always abnormal termination. That's it. Any doubt? So what you require to do is, can you please take this one on the paper and take these cases, analyze on your own. So just try to execute these combinations by taking SOP statement. If any line required an exception, 10/0, SOP of 10/0, automatically exception will be raised. Can you please cross check whether all these cases are proper or not? Perfectly it is going to work, sir. Sir, next exceptions will be raised only in the try block. No. It can be raised inside try block or inside catch block or inside finally block also. Maybe a chance, because finally block also contain which codes are Java code only. Maybe a chance of raising an exception inside finally block also. Clear for you? Is it? Sir, I explained very clearly in the material also. These cases are there documented very clearly. Just go through that.